Looper is a magical tool for musicians. You press a button to record, play something, and press the button again to finish. Then whatever you just recorded will start playing back and loop. From there, you improvise and figure out what goes well with that loop, and record the second layer once you're ready. And you can keep layering to your heart's content. Sure, I could use a DAW to record layers, but I like the simple setup and immediate aspect of a hardware looper. It's a lot of fun to spontaneously create multi-layered music. So in this video, I would like to analyze how a looper works and put one together with a daisy seed. Hi, this is Takumi. I hope you're doing well. Let's analyze how a looper works and program one on the desktop with plug data. Once that's working, I'll put together a simple circuit and flash the firmware to the daisy seed and create a standalone looper. Loopers have an audio input which can be directly connected to the output. And the input is also routed to a recorder. The recorded audio is stored in a buffer temporarily. I also need a playback that will output the audio stored in the buffer. So here it is in plug data. With the press of a button, I can record audio. I set the buffer name to be buffer and set the size as 96,000. Why that number? So the buffer stores audio as samples, which are the tiny building blocks of digital audio. With the current sampling rate of 48,000, 1 second of audio consists of 48,000 samples. So with the size of 96,000 samples, we can store 2 seconds of audio into this buffer. Alright, let's press the button to record. Hello. Okay, I don't hear anything playing back. So tab read for tilde plays back the recording by outputting specific individual samples from the buffer, and it needs a ramp to do so. This phaser tilde object generates a linear ramp from 0.0 to 1.0 over a certain amount of time. In this example, 0.5 Hz, which is 2 seconds. And if I multiply that output by 96,000, all 96,000 samples are played from the first to last within 2 seconds, which will play back the recording exactly as it was recorded. Hello. Hello. If we change the frequency to 1 Hz, which is 1 second, the recording gets played back twice as fast, resulting in... Now if I hit record again, test. Test. The previous loop is overwritten, so I don't really have a looper that can overdub to create multi-layered loops. Good news is, I can simply just route the output of the playback to the recorder. Hello. Test. Hello. Test. Right now, I can only record a 2-second loop. Not only is it too short, but a looper should be able to record a loop at any length. For example, if I press the button, record for 3.5 seconds, and press the button again, there should be a loop that's 3.5 seconds long. And if I start over and record for 12 seconds, there should be a 12-second loop. Okay, then I'll just increase the buffer size to 10 seconds and add a stop message to dispatch. Now I should be able to create a loop of any length shorter than the max 10 seconds, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 5, 2, 6, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. So the issue is that only 2 seconds of the buffer are played back because the phaser tilde and times tilde values are set for a 2-second long loop. In order to figure out the appropriate frequency and the total samples, I need to know how long the recorded loop is. An easy way to figure this out is to measure the time between when I hit the button to record and when I hit the button again to stop. And the timer object is right for the job. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, now to add a feature that will make this looper smoother and more fun to play with. What I want is to first hit the button to record and hit it again to stop recording. Once the first loop is created, I want to be able to hit record and the recording will automatically start next time the loop begins and stop when the loop ends. So I only need to press the button once for overdubbing. How this will work is by having 2 states, the first loop recording state and the overdubbing state. So the signal chain that was put together earlier is for the first loop state. This is where the first loop is recorded and the length is measured. Then that signal chain is closed out from the record button input and the overdub signal chain is opened up. The looper is in the overdubbing state now. When I press record again, the recording will automatically start when the loop begins and stop when the loop ends. And I can keep overdubbing. I can also add a reset button. When I press this, the looper will go back to its first loop state and the overdub signal chain is closed off again. It's also worth noting that the feedback volume is 0 in the first loop state, so the loop is overwritten with the new first layer. Okay, with that in mind, let me walk you through the patch. Let's say I just recorded the first loop and it ended up being 3 seconds long. Now the patch's state transitioned from the first loop recording state to the overdubbing state, indicated by this toggle. And the toggle is connected to this gate object that closes off the first loop signal chain. And now the gate is open for the overdub signal chain. When I press the button to overdub, this float object will store the value of 1 and wait to output it until the loop begins again. So how do I know when the loop starts? When the first loop is recorded, a metro is activated. It uses a loop length value, so it outputs a bang every time the loop begins. It's worth noting that it is synced up with the phaser. When the float object that's storing the value of 1 receives the bang, it will output the 1 which will start the recording. As the recording starts, the float object now stores a value of 0 and waits until another bang, which will happen when the loop begins again. Once the loop begins again and the value of 0 is outputted, the recording stops. And this process repeats whenever I press the record button again. Test 1 2 3. Test 1 2 3. Test 1 2 3. Test overdub 1 2 3. Test overdub 1 2 3. The looper seems to work fine, so let's flash the patch to Daisy. I'm using the Daisy pod for now since it comes with audio jacks, buttons, and LEDs already connected to the Daisy seed. I mapped one button to record and another to reset. And I have a playback state LED and record state LED. Alright, let's flash and try this out. Nice, it's working. Actually, I often get this noise issue. There could be something funky when reading and recording using the same buffer simultaneously. I ended up adding another buffer, so when buffer 1 is used for playback, buffer 2 is used for recording, and they switch back and forth every overdub. It looks like this worked out because I stopped encountering the noise issue. And having 2 buffers should come in handy if I wanted to add an undo feature. Now that I'm confident that my patch works, I'm going to put together the circuit on a breadboard. So I need 2 audio jacks, 2 buttons, and 2 LEDs. And let's connect these to the Daisy seed. If you'd like to learn more about how components like these are connected to the seed, please watch the hardware portion of these videos on the Daisy Duino playlist. Okay, let's see if it works. Awesome, success! It's a lot of fun to spontaneously put together layered musical ideas and then improvise over it. The patch is available, so I hope you have fun with the looper as well. And if you like making music by sampling in general, I recommend watching the sampler synth tutorial. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Take care.